Statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation for when you don't. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition. Welcome to the show.
There he is, that guitar player. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, vamping us in. Great to be with you in this post-Thanksgiving show. Start of a new week, end of the month, headed into December, Black Friday, today's Cyber Monday. Good luck. Spend your money. If you're depressed, that's good therapy. Go shopping. Hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving with you and your family, friends, and however you spent it. And it's always a mixed bag, right? Yeah, it's just the nature of it all. And we're in studio, back in studio, live. Great to be here. Glad you're there. Can always call. I keep telling you, please call 877-897-8255 anytime you want. And we are certainly in the grips of the holiday season, no doubt about it. I was traveled before the day before Thanksgiving and then yesterday, and I got lucky. My time at the airport, getting in and out of airports was easy. I just caught a break. I understand that some people not so much. It was very, very easy. For a change. We'll take it. Although traveling is stressful, no matter what, even when it goes smoothly, it's still stressful. And had a nice Thanksgiving with my family. It was nice to do that. Had a couple of days off, and we're back in here again. So now that you had the Thanksgiving experience, let's think about that for a second. What was the experience? Too much of a good thing? Not enough of a good thing? What was your experience during this Thanksgiving? What kind of after you ate? Did you feel winded? You have experience of feeling winded? Not being able to catch your breath, so to speak. Maybe you got nauseous. How about drowsy? Did that happen? With that avalanche of food? One of my daughters, one of her friends, commented that he had to put on sweatpants because he ate so much. He had to put sweatpants on. Did did your digestive system feel a little upside down? Did you have a lot of bloating and feel a little gassy? Even sometimes people will feel chilly and have that chilly, that blood rushing to the digestive system will move blood away from the muscles in the skin, and you'll get a chilling sensation, a feeling of chilly. Maybe because you ate too much chili, I don't know. That temporary heavy feeling can also occur, or a permanent heavy feeling if you consumed a pile of food and a bunch of calories. Those are some of the side effects of overeating. And so you had that experience, and you don't want to replicate that again now throughout the rest of the holiday. If you had that experience, then, you did something nutritionally wrong. Now, what's interesting relative to my own personal experience, I did go off diet a bit. By diet, I don't mean my weight loss diet. I ate some foods that I typically don't get, and boy, I could tell a difference. Absolutely. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And just and it wasn't that I was egregious about it. It was just enough that I realized that, did not feel the same. It was food. Too much of certain foods that I typically wouldn't eat. A little too much fat, a little too much sugar. And I could tell the difference. And I'm not kidding you. A big difference for me. So I'm just saying. Today, and we'll try to. The theme for today is served up, if so to speak, with not only the holidays in mind, but the holidays and beyond. And the theme is mixed messages, mixed results. And there are all kinds of mixed messages out there. For example, focus on the calories, don't focus on the calories. Don't worry about the fat, worry about the fat in the food. Eat throughout the day, practice intermittent fasting. These are when you start to compare and contrast these are very different approaches that are underpinned by different principles and practices and consequently your behaviors. What are you to do? Count the calories, don't count the calories. Focus on the fat, don't focus on the fat. Worry about it, don't worry about it. High protein, low protein. Worry about the carbs, don't worry about the carbs. I can go on and on. Eat throughout the day, practice intermittent fasting. And there are other mixed messages that get promulgated or communicated. And what should you buy into? Which principles or which point of view should you embrace and then try to practice? And during the holidays, it's a stressful time, and sometimes worse decisions are made when under stress or emotion, high emotion. Usually decisions are not of good quality. You don't make good decisions when under stress or emotional, one way or another, either too high or too low emotionally. Either manic or depressed, making decisions in either condition. Those are extreme conditions, and it's not good. And you can making decisions about your health, making decisions about your life, your business, whatever. So the holiday is fraught with all kinds of mixed messages, mixed results. So I thought we would talk about that today and try to sort through it a bit. And what should you do? 877-897-8255. There was a couple of stories trending this morning. By the way, there's a huge climate summit conference going on right now. 147 nations involved. I believe they're in Paris, meeting to talk about climate change and fossil fuel emissions. I have a few stories related to the climate as well. But the one story that was trending this morning out of the American College of Cardiology, talking about being overweight or obese early in a person's life increases the risk of cardiac death later in life. And what they said in the summary of the news release was that overweight and obesity throughout adulthood, and especially elevated weight in early adulthood, were correlated with the person having an increased risk of sudden cardiac death. This was a longitudinal study. It took them 32 years to do it. It involved more than 72,000 women. And yet another consequence of being overweight or obese. And it's being overweight and obese throughout your adult life. And they said, and especially elevated weight in early adulthood. Well, I got news for you. Early adulthood, you need to back up a little earlier than that. How about early childhood? Come back, I'll tell you more about this study, and then about the children of obese mothers. What happens there? Be right back.
Still looking for your fountain of youth? It's Xenia. Look no further than the beauty aisle of your favorite health and nutrition store. Xenia is the newest product from Form Essentials, the brand that brought you solace. So you know it's filled with the highest quality ingredients. Many cosmetic products only treat topically, while Xenia addresses aging and hair loss from within. Formulated to support the growth of radiant hair, skin, and nails, Xenia is sure to help you turn back the hands of time and assist you in aging gracefully. Xenia provides a spectrum of key vitamins and other evidence-based natural ingredients such as alpha-lipoic acid, biotin, collagen, and elastin peptides, all combined in one capsule for your convenience. By promoting beauty from the inside out, you are strengthening your cells and creating a lasting enhancement to your natural beauty. Xenia fits into your daily routine and can be taken to boost your current cosmetic products. Available now at leading health and nutrition stores. Ask for Xenia by name. Start taking Xenia hair, skin, and nails today and get ready to look amazing.
Energy, energy, and more energy. Everyone needs it. But did you know you can get the energy you need quick through the powers of wild forest extracts? Wild chaga and birch bark were a secret source of energy and power for Russian athletes years ago, making them unbeatable. Now you too can experience real energy and power like you've never dreamed possible. Wild chaga is the world's top source of SOD, superoxide dismutase, that critical enzyme that blocks the aging process and keeps your cells healthy. Wild birch extract is the world's top source of betulin, a natural sterol needed by every cell of the body. And healthy cells mean a healthy you, and a more powerful one too. Chaga birch bark is also good for your heart, healthy cholesterol, and even helps build healthy arteries. No wonder it's known as the king of all herbs. So take your Chaga Charge tea with wild birch bark every day and Chaga Max capsules from North American Herb and Spice and get that maximum energy you need. Also available in liquid as Chago Power Drops. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hi, I'm Jordan Rubin, founder and CEO of Garden of Life. Oceans 3 was created with a simple premise in mind. Develop a line of premium omega-3 fish oil formulations that met or exceeded the market leader in quality, and then go beyond omega-3 by providing amplified benefits and value to the consumer. Oceans 3 contains ultra-pure, high-potency fish oil, along with astaxanthin and fucoxanthin. Each of these ingredients, when taken individually, have superb benefits. When they are combined into the exciting compound omega-xanthin, they work synergistically to amplify their already amazing benefits. In addition to the synergy of omega-xanthin, Oceans 3 offers unrivaled purity and greater value than the leading omega-3 fish oils available today, making the Oceans 3 family of products the best choice for anyone looking to add a healthy dose of omega-3 fats and a giant dose of extraordinary health to their lives.
When you're passionate about your health, that passion leads to the knowledge that exercise and a healthy diet are not always enough. Sometimes you need the extra nutritional boost that only supplements can provide. If you are looking for the leading national brands of vitamins, supplements, health and beauty, weight loss, or sports nutrition products, look no further than Vitamin Discount Center. Voted best independent chain by Vitamin Retailer Magazine, Vitamin Discount Center has been a trusted and valuable nutrition resource to the Tampa Bay area for over 15 years. With daily savings up to 50%, Vitamin Discount Center offers the best prices on the highest quality nutritional supplements. Not only will you find unbeatable value, your visit includes access to a staff educated on the application of products to help equip you with the products and information you need to proactively improve your health. To locate the store nearest you, visit vitamindiscountcenter.com, as well as access to articles on popular health topics, promotions, events, and thousands of products to shop from right at home. Your search for an affordable solution to better health is finally over. Vitamin Discount Center. For life, for less.
For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For life, for less. For li
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. Now introducing Zinnia for healthy hair, skin, and nails. Garden of Life, empowering extraordinary health. Canavest, from seed to shelf. New Chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Nature's Dynamics, garden to gummy supplements made by Dad. Natural Factors, where great health begins. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition and post-Thanksgiving edition of the show. Dominique Ostrander will be my guest. You'll be along in a little bit. Talking about, the theme for today will be mixed messages with mixed results. Stay tuned. I'll explain and lay it out for you. And reporting on a study coming out of the, the study focusing on this business of, being overweight early in adult life, the American College of Cardiology. And they took the data from the Nurses' Health Study. That's been a long-standing study, so they had like 32 years worth of data here. And they followed 72,484 healthy women from 1980 to 2012. So it was a longitudinal study, and what they found was that early adulthood or throughout adulthood, especially early adulthood, people who are overweight or obese have an increased risk for cardiac death. Not controlling your weight. So you can go for quite a while with no seemingly any consequences, seemingly anyway, consequences. But things are in play, and it takes time. And then one day, boom, goes the dynamite. So it's not as if being overweight or obese is some aesthetic issue, relative to appearance or, finding clothes that will fit and whatnot, and just looking right and nice and whatever. I mean, the health issues associated with being overweight or obese are manifold. And sudden cardiac death is pretty serious business. So, nearly 3/4 of all sudden cardiac deaths occur in patients not considered to be high risk based on current guidelines. Dr. Chiuv said we must seek broader prevention strategies to reduce the burden of sudden cardiac death in the general population. The risk of sudden cardiac death was twice as high in women who gained 44 pounds or more during early to mid-adulthood. And I don't understand this point of view. They're saying, and I've had people on my show who have suffered from overweight or obesity and agree with me, maybe some who don't, that it's quite all right. If you're overweight or obese, you're supposed to be that way, and you should be happy being that way. I don't understand. That's a mixed message. There's a mixed message there. Speaking of mixed messages with mixed results, that is classic. The one message is lose the weight, have better health. The other message is don't worry about the weight. That's who you are. Enjoy your life. That is a classic mixed message. What should you do? And there are more than a few people that listen to the show that are overweight and obese. And they struggle, and they're looking for ways and sometimes one strategy does not fit all. One approach doesn't fit all. One diet doesn't fit all. And even with counseling, it takes a monumental effort to lose weight and keep it off. I don't care who you are. And it's not about willpower, damn it. And they could quit blaming people, say, well, it's their fault. They don't take personal responsibility. They don't have any willpower. That argument has no legs. It can't even crawl across the floor. It's so weak. That is shaming and blaming. That's a shaming and blaming argument. It doesn't work, and it has no merit, and there's no evidence to support it. Being overweight or obese is a complex multidimensional problem. Involves many factors: behavioral, psychological, emotional, social, cultural. So there's one classic mixed message. If you're overweight or obese, lose the weight. If you're overweight or obese, don't worry about it. That's who you are. Enjoy your life. Really? Okay. Have at it. My guest is Dominique Ostrander. She's an educator for Jarrow Formulas. Dominique, welcome back to the show. Happy post-Thanksgiving. I didn't get a chance to talk to you. Did you? How was the pecan pie?
I wouldn't know. I didn't have any.
You didn't have any pecan
not.
pie?
I'm not a fan of either pecan pie or pumpkin pie.
I'm a fan of pumpkin pie only if when you take a bite, it's not so sweet that it hurts your teeth.
Mm-hmm.
I love pecan pie, but it's hard to make it in a healthy way. Maybe there's somebody here listening to watching the show that has a healthy recipe for pecan pie. I'd like to have it. Yeah. Do you have a nice Thanksgiving with your family?
I did. It was very enjoyable.
And you committed no nutritional sin? None? Zero?
I would say, well, I think so. I mean, for as much as my sin can be, I had pumpkin bread.
It's pretty good, no?
Mm-hmm.
High in fat.
Yeah, I don't know how my sister-in-law made it. It was delicious. I don't know how. I don't know how much fat was in it.
Okay. Now that I said the word, mixed message.
Mm-hmm.
High fat diet. Don't worry about the fat. It's the carbs. That's one point of view. The other view is don't worry about eat the fat. The fat is good for you. And, you know, which is part of that first message, you know, it's not the fat, it's the carbs.
Mm-hmm.
Other people say it's the fat. And I say, yet the third argument, it's the fat and the carbs. Be right back.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering. You're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Nubian Heritage, humble beginnings, advancing wellness, never tested on animals. Yerba Prima, pioneers in internal cleansing. Country Life, a leader and authority in natural health and nutrition. Now Foods, our products work. Nordic Naturals, pure and great tasting omega oils. Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing while listening or watching. 877-897-8255 is a toll-free number. Please call anytime you want. The theme for today is mixed messages, mixed results. My guest is Dominique Ostrander, educator for Jarrow Formulas. Dominique, welcome back. Back last year, there was a study published in the Journal of Health Communication, International Perspectives. I have published an article too in Health Communication, that Journal of Health Communication, that particular journal. This study took a look at this very issue of exposing people to conflicting news about the health benefits of certain foods, vitamins, and supplements. And what they said, this conflicting news, these mixed messages, often results in confusion on the part of the consumer and consumer backlash against nutritional recommendations. More than 71% of the people surveyed said that they heard moderate or high levels of contradictory information about nutrition. I'm surprised it's that low. Those with the greatest exposure to contradictory information, they said, expressed the most confusion about nutrition. They said that greater confusion was correlated indirectly with backlash against nutritional advice in general, as indicated by agreement with such statements as that were on the survey. Quote, dietary recommendations should be taken with a grain of salt. Or, scientists really don't know what foods are good for you. This was true, they said, when controlling for age, education, or level of general mistrust. So it was confusion and backlash that were also slightly correlated with less intention to exercise or eat fruits and vegetables. What do you make of that? In other words, this theme for today taps into what the general population sees as a lot of mixed messages and a lot of confusion relative to those messages, Dominique.
Absolutely. So there was a couple things that came to on my mind when you were talking about before I came on the air. And you were saying about people that were obese, overweight or obese, and they're being told, just don't worry about your weight. Just get on with your life and live your life and be happy.
But the other message is this insistent message and focus on lose the weight, it's better for your health. The other message is, well, you know what? That's who you are. Don't worry about it. Live your life. Those are the contradictory messages. Go ahead.
And that's true. And so I thought about that, and I said, in my mind, I'm asking myself, well, why are there such a prevalence of these conflicting messages? And I remember when I was in med school, the question became, it's only as important as who you ask because of the perspectives that you're going to get. And so if you ask a science researcher in nutrition and the source of that, where that information is coming from, you're going to get one bit of information. If you ask the doctor who himself is dealing with the weight issue on how to deal with your weight, he might give you different advice. And on it goes. Your trainer at the gym might give you different advice. I think the questions are only relevant to whom we ask the questions to. And I understand that it does result in conflicting advice and guidance, but that you and I, hopefully in the brief time that we have on the air, can help people decide what route might be the best for them based on these conflicting messages, because there is merit in all of it, really. When it comes down to caloric intake, it does come down to what your body can utilize better, having more satiety than not, what you can use for energy and what makes you feel sluggish, the differences between should I be on a high-fat diet, low-carb, high-protein, all of those things. So it really does depend on so many different factors. I don't think it's a one-size-fits-all.
Yeah, I agree with you, and we'll get to this business. The other mixed message is focus on the calories. The calories count. I've written articles where I make that argument. Others who say, other health experts will say, don't count calories. It's impossible. It's not the calories. It's not the calories. So that's another conflicting message. We'll get to that. But to go back to this study that was published in Journal of Health Communication, what they point out is that a majority of people, many people, get their health information from where? The news media, like shows such as this one, or CNN, MSNBC, CBS, NBC.
The Today Show.
The Today Show, tomorrow's show, the show that's going to be next week. Who knows what show? And cable is replete with all kinds of lifestyle shows, self-help shows of one sort or another, replete. And so that's where people are getting their information. The paradox is we live in an information age. That's an understatement. Mm-hmm. But it comes with some unintended consequences. This is one of them. They said that in addition, not only do people get their information from the news media, which can be very confusing, different research institutes, some very notable, also generate conflicting messages on the same topic, like weight loss, heart health, and so on, or produce results on related topics that are at cross purposes, such as finding that fish containing oils that are good for you, for your heart, but yet may be contaminated with mercury.
Right, and I do think that it almost requires a series of questions. In my mind, that's the first thing that came to my mind, that you would have, in order to deduce the right information, it should be the focus on, well, here's a series of questions, and then it leads you down the sort of labyrinth to the answer, versus getting the answer first. Because, again, if you're a marathoner, for example, your energy requirements are going to be different than Sally the secretary. But those aren't questions that are dealt with when people are telling you what food you should eat that are best for you.
And what happens journalistically, and I function as a journalist on this show in reporting, and sometimes I make news, find news, new news, or I'm reporting news as a health journalist. The fault may not necessarily be with journalists solely. Mm-hmm. It's also the medical institutions, mm-hmm. the government, everybody participating, not with the intention to confuse. And the irony is they're doing often these things with the intention of trying to clear things up and help people. But I must say, journalistically speaking, many journalists don't do their due diligence when reporting on health studies, and the studies are faulty, and they don't go any further to find that out.
Exclusively from Natural Factors.
I'm Dr. Michael Murray. I'm very excited to have the opportunity to talk with you about PGX, a truly revolutionary natural product that works perfectly to help get at the core issues that make weight loss so difficult. PGX is a clinically proven way to help people to achieve their ideal body weight that is safe and natural. PGX leads to a dramatic reduction in the glycemic index of any food or meal. It also ultimately causes the release of compounds that achieve two important goals in weight loss. One, telling your brain that you're satisfied so you eat less, and two, improving the action of the hormone insulin. If you've ever tried to lose weight and failed, it's not your fault. You just need the tremendous support that PGX can provide. For more information on making your weight loss dream a near effortless reality, please go to pgx.com.
Feeling tired after your meal? Occasional gas, bloating, or indigestion at inopportune times? You may have an enzyme deficiency. Did you know that many common digestive discomforts can be caused by poor digestion? When food isn't completely digested, it begins to ferment in the digestive tract, which may cause uncomfortable symptoms. Digest Gold, America's #1 selling enzyme product, offers unparalleled support for your digestive needs. It contains exclusive blends of enzymes optimized to be 3 times stronger and work more than 6 times faster than other leading digestive supplements. With just 1 capsule per meal, Digest Gold offers support to break down carbohydrates, fats, fiber, and protein. Enzymedica products are all natural, vegetarian, contain absolutely no fillers, and are vegan and kosher when possible. You'll find Digest Gold and other Enzymedica products at fine health food stores near you. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
At Nordic Naturals, we know that a commitment to deliver the world's safest, most effective omega oils requires an exceptional process. That's why we manage every step of production, from boat to bottle. That includes sustainably sourcing wild-caught fish from well-managed fisheries. It means using state-of-the-art equipment and technology at our manufacturing plant in Arctic Norway. Nordic Naturals bottles and encapsulates our omega-3s at our own facility and carefully ships products from our eco-friendly headquarters in California. The result? Nordic Naturals products have received more than 40 awards for taste, innovation, and product excellence. You can trust the quality of Nordic Naturals products and know you're getting all the health benefits omega-3 fish oils offer. Nordic Naturals' high-quality, great-tasting omega-3s make staying healthy easier for you and your family. When choosing an omega-3 fish oil product, choose the #1 fish oil in the U.S. Choose Nordic Naturals. Available at natural product retailers or online at nordicnaturals.com.
Are you tired of taking vitamin pills or powders? How about gummy vitamins with high fructose, corn syrup, or coloring? Finally, you have a choice with Nature's Dynamic whole food gummy supplements and probiotics made by a dad. Imagine getting benefits of your garden in a delicious gummy supplement. Nature's Dynamics utilizes organic, plant-based vitamin and mineral sources with non-GMO, gluten, soy, and dairy-free ingredients in a delicious gummy for the whole family. Nature's Dynamics has berry garden gummies made by a dad, multivitamin, omega-3 and probiotics for kids, body boost joint relief, whole food bone and calcium gummy, whole food immune and vitamin C gummy, whole food omega-3 gummy, Be Beautiful hair, skin, and nails gummy, prenatal plus gummy, whole food probiotics for digestive support, and body boost energy and wellness multivitamin for him and her in a delicious, easy to digest gummy. To learn more about Nature's Dynamics or to find a retailer near you, visit naturesdynamics.com or madebyadad.com. Nature's Dynamics, garden to gummy supplements made by a dad.
Are you waking up each day to the life you have to live or to the life you want to live? Better health shouldn't be left to chance. Smart choices to living longer and stronger include making Kyolic aged garlic extract a part of your daily routine. For years, medical researchers have recommended adding Kyolic to the diet as a powerful tool to enhancing overall heart and immune health. Recent clinical studies at UCLA Medical Center using Kyolic suggest that garlic may slow plaque formation in the arteries and support healthy cholesterol and homocysteine levels. Previous research also shows Kyolic may enhance your immune system defenses. Kyolic is organic, odorless, and the only antioxidant garlic supplement available worldwide. Maintaining a healthier you could extend your life. Your wellness begins with Kyolic aged garlic extract, available everywhere fine nutritional supplements are sold. Visit kyolic.com, that's KYOLIC.com, or call 1-800-421-2998 for a free sample today.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by A. Vogel, Europe's leading brand of herbal medicine. Nutrix Hawaii, more nutrition, better health, purely Hawaiian. Renew Life, the digestive care company. Enzymedica, the enzyme experts. North American Herb and Spice, the only oregano oil you can take on a daily basis. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
You need a microphone to talk, buddy. Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. I'm talking today with Dominique Ostrander, educator for Jarrow Formulas. about the contradictory messages concerning health, wellness, well-being, and generally nutrition, and then the mixed results that stem from these mixed messages. And there was an article published in the Journal of Health Communication. I have published articles in the Journal of Health Communication myself. And this study was a pretty good study. And 71% of the people they surveyed in the study said that these people surveyed said that they had heard moderate or high levels of contradictory information about nutrition, 71%. And it's not that they just heard it, but the study also revealed that there was some consequences with that contradiction in messaging. And that is, not only was there confusion, but then there was a backlash against any recommendations, nutritional recommendations that were given, because they don't trust the messenger. If the message is confused and conflicting, you then make assumptions and make attributions relative to the messenger. And one is not trustworthy. Dominique, welcome back.
Thank you.
Jarrow Formulas, as a leading supplement company across not just the United States, but in the world, it's one of the leading supplement companies. It is, for the listener who doesn't know, I can tell you, Dominique can tell you better than I. Why don't you tell them?
We are a global leader, for sure.
No, there's no doubt about it. Okay, that being said, is Jarrow Formulas as a supplement company dialed into this contradiction of messaging? There's a lot of in terms of supplements, there are more contradictory messages than I have since. And it's terrible. People don't know. You should take calcium for your bones. One point of view. Another point of view, don't take calcium because it's going to give you arterial disease. Contradictory message. Fish oil, good for your body, good for your brain, good for everything. Other message, causes prostate cancer. Mixed message. Vitamin C isn't worth a damn when it comes to cold, flu, or, other message is that vitamin C can help ameliorate the symptoms of cold, flu, and whatever. I could go on for the next hour and a half with all the contradictory messages relative to nutrition generally, supplements specifically. Is your company concerned about that? What's it doing?
Absolutely. Jarrow himself, Jarrow Rogovan, is, I don't know another word besides very dialed in to what's going on and the contradictions, and therefore is always making sure that claims are accurate, claims are true. We are a science-based company, so there is not one product that is ever released without science, clinical trials behind it. As far as the conflicting messages, our science team, our formulators, are leaders in this industry. We have unbelievable brains behind the products that we release and that we formulate. So as far as conflicting messages, that's something that we like to keep the record straight. And unfortunately, there are companies out there that give a lot of the other nutraceutical companies a hard time, meaning that it's because of their sloppy work that companies like Jarrow have to foot the bill to keep the industry standard high.
So what I heard you say, interpreting your comments, that to try and ameliorate this condition and atmosphere of confusing messaging, that Jarrow relies on the science to support the claims it makes about its products. That they believe will try to keep the ship on a steady course, with a true compass reading, a moral compass, ethical corporate compass, and straight ahead, right? I want to see what you think about this contradiction in messaging. Dietary supplements are essential to a person's health versus dietary supplements only lead to enriched urine and fecal matter. That's a classic. In fact, I have been criticized at times because I do focus on dietary supplementation, and the show focuses on dietary supplementation. Obviously, I'm of the former view that dietary supplements are essential to good health when used properly. I have to ask you, this is a softball question. Where do you come down on that contradiction? Or do you see any merit? Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Do you see any merit in the other point of view that dietary supplements are a waste of time, money, and effort and only lead to enriched urine?
Zero.
You don't see any merit in that?
No.
None.
I see zero. Unless they're talking, I don't even, it would have to be, what supplements were you testing? What supplements were you looking at when you wrote that statement? I guess if I was going to be fair, but if I were just to judge it based on the words that they combined into that statement, I would say that had zero merit.
There are a number of notable physicians. They're on CBS This Morning. They're on the morning talk shows. They show up. They've written books. I could give you a list of them, and are on the record that dietary supplementation, in fact, is a threat to health, and they see it as they see no merit whatsoever.
And coming from a medical perspective, where there's a conflicting view, I want to say, between East meets West, that kind of thing. I can appreciate it. I can hold that in my head and say, okay, I understand where you're coming from. However, companies like Jarrow, nutraceutical leaders that are basing this on science, we're not talking about those the companies that are creating bogus weight loss supplements that are laced with actual diet aids that give Sally a heart attack because it wasn't truthfully displayed on the bottle that we actually do have a drug laced in this product. And it's unfortunate, like I was saying, it's those companies that create a sloppy world for the nutraceutical industry that we're having to constantly defend our position when, in fact, like Jarrow and like other supplement companies, we are a science-based company.
And that if anybody listens to this show, you know that I do promote the use of dietary supplements, and this is an evidence-based show, a science-based show, and I always try to present the facts, the science to support any claim relative to any therapy we talk about on the show. I do think there is some merit in that other view, and I'll tell you what that is.
Statements made during this broadcast regarding products or the claims made about specific products have not been evaluated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. Products and treatments discussed are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Make your physician aware of all nutritional supplements used and immediately notify your physician if you have any health concern or undiagnosed sign or symptom. Let's Talk Nutrition is a health talk show that features scientists, authors, nutrition specialists, personal trainers, holistic healers, and experts in traditional, natural, and integrative medicine. Listen for a chance to win daily prizes and follow Let's Talk Nutrition on Facebook and Instagram at Let's Talk Nutrition or on Twitter at LTN Radio. It's time for some inspiration. Tune in to get fit and healthy. It's time to talk about nutrition. Nutrition for your body, your mind, your spirit. It's time to talk about proper exercise, stress relief, eating well, and supplementation for when you don't. Get ready to take charge of your health because your health is your wealth and the wealth of those who care about and love you. It's time for Let's Talk Nutrition. Welcome to the show.
It's great to be with you, and you are listening to Let's Talk Nutrition. You know, that health talk show, your place for health and wellness. So glad that you could stop by today. I'm glad to be here with you on this post-Thanksgiving show. Start of a new week. And clearly, we had the Thanksgiving feast. And depending on, how you did, you may have had certain signs and symptoms of either eating in a good way or in a bad way, And in the first portion of the show, I talked about some of the signs that perhaps maybe you need to change a little strategy here, change in strategy for the rest of the holiday season. If you want to find out what I said about that, the show is on demand at letstalknutrition.com. My guest today is Dominique Ostrander, educator for Jarrow Formulas, and I've implicated her in a conversation about mixed messages, contradictory messages, if you will, and mixed results. And the literature, both the scientific literature and the popular literature, is replete with all of these contradictory messages. And one that I focused on in the last portion of the first hour of the show today was this conflict between messages about dietary supplements being essential and others who say that dietary supplements are a waste of time and even dangerous. One of the people who is a proponent of that latter view, the view that dietary supplements are not good for you, is Dr. David Agus. Dr. Agus is a regular guest on CBS This Morning, and he's the author of one of the books he's written, The End of Illness. I should say that there are many things that Dr. Agus states in his book that I agree with. And he makes eminently good sense. He's an oncologist, by the way. But he has taken in my view, and he's very smart and articulate, and I have some regard for him. But when it comes to dietary supplements, his IQ drops 50 points. And he says outrageous things. And he has a chapter, to the extent that he's in his book, The End of Illness, he has a chapter on dietary supplements, and the title of that chapter is The Truth About Synthetic Solutions. And then it has a subtitle, How to Save Hundreds of Dollars a Year and Rethink the Need for Supplements and Vitamins, close quote. And, he takes a very extreme view. He thinks they are a total waste of time. And that his argument is that, well, whatever science there is with these supplements, they're only observational studies. He's wrong about that. There are double-blind, placebo-controlled trials all over the place testing these different compounds that are found in dietary supplements. Go to PubMed, go to Cochrane, go to any of these research-oriented sites and do the research. There are thousands of studies. Thousands. Just on fish, just on omega-3 fatty acids alone, there are thousands of studies. So I don't know what he's talking about. And he thinks there is precious little evidence, he says, to demonstrate the efficacy, the effectiveness of dietary supplements. And in fact, he argues that they can shorten life and even not prolong it and cause death. And then he cherry picks one study or another and then makes his argument. This becomes a very confusing, and he's not the only one that does this. Now, on the other hand, there are preeminent doctors of one stripe or another who believe in cardiologists, oncologists, rheumatologists, whatever, who believe that dietary supplementation is an important part of health, wellness, and well-being. And even now, many cardiologists are prescribing, for example, fish oil. And Jarrow Formulas makes a terrific fish oil supplement, a couple of them. Or they'll prescribe vitamin C, vitamin D, a multivitamin. What the hell is he talking about? When women are pregnant, doctors have been giving women supplements during pregnancy since I don't know when. Even back probably in the 50s, they were doing that. So as smart as he is, and as much as I like much of what he says, when it comes to dietary supplements, he creates a lot of confusion. Now, he's well-intentioned. I mean, I'm not attributing some conspiracy theory to him. I'm just saying I respectfully disagree with his view. At the end of the day, though, it causes confusion in the general public and consumers, is what I'm referring to specifically, of health, wellness, and well-being related services, products, and therapies. And the study that was published in the Journal of Health Communication shows that when people become confused with these messages, there's a backlash effect where they dismiss any nutritional recommendation specifically. Because there's so much confusion, even if it's a good message and a valid, scientifically supported message, they will tend to dismiss it. And that doesn't serve them well. So this theme of mixed messages, mixed results, has far-reaching implications for people in their day-to-day health, wellness, and well-being, and what level they can achieve or what level it will degrade to. Dominique, welcome back to the show.
Thank you.
All right. Did I set that up okay? I mean,
yes, you did perfectly, actually. And I was having that very same thought. What about pregnant women and their supplements and folic acid preventing neural tube defects? It just, I don't know, it just seems so small-minded for somebody that would have the education and what you would think would be an open-mindedness as this one physician.
Listen, we all have biases, and they are what they are. And I have my biases, but I would like to think that I'm a candidate to be persuaded. Mm-hmm. And if I thought that I take supplements myself, and I have for decades. I gave them to my mother, and my mother lived to be 92. Now, I'm not saying it was through the dietary supplementation. She happened to live a healthy life and had a great diet and was just a good human being and all the things that would go to making a good life. Mm-hmm. But would I give those to my mother? Would I give them to my children? Would I give them to myself? And would I go on the air? I mean, I got to be able to sleep at night. I look at the science. The science tells me contrary to what Dr. Agus believes. And if it were otherwise, I'd be in that other camp. And believe me, I would have a health talk show where I would be every day pounding away at don't take supplements. I would do it. Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying. Now, I don't know. I mean, you're out in the field every day. When you're in those stores and customers walk in, wherever part of the country you're in, do you ever have people walk in and express confusion about one thing or another, one supplement or another, one therapy or another?
Absolutely.
You do run into that?
Oh, yes.
For example?
Well, a lot of it has to do, more often than not, has to do with weight loss.
And what are they confused about?
Protein intake, the needs, how much do they need, what kind of protein. That's a big one. I confront that all the time.
When we come back, maybe you could break that out a little bit more, exactly what they're arguing. or what they're confused about, and what they're trying to seek from you in terms of guidance relative to protein. What about calcium? Do you get any confusion related to calcium?
Not anymore. When that first came out and everybody was scared to death that their calcium supplements were then going to give them some sort of atherosclerotic process, then that was the big topic of conversation in many stores.
We're headed into some messages. If you could think about, over your travels over these many years and your appearances and public performances and presentations and interacting with hundreds, if not thousands, of consumers, I wonder if there were some of these contradictions that really come to mind. If you could share that. We'll be right back.
At Canavest, we believe that the future of hemp is unlimited, and through innovative and responsible application and science, we will enhance the prosperity and well-being of our customers, employees, and communities. As pioneers, our long-term goal at Canavest is to locate hemp seed processing mills near to our future family of hemp farmers. These local factories will convert hemp seed into nutritious oil, protein powders, bread flour, and hemp meal. Canavest supports local efforts and believes that sustainability starts locally. Canavest was named one of the Nutritional Outlook's Best of 2014, and we are committed to pioneering the hemp revolution as the world's leading producer of quality hemp-derived CBD products. Resistance to change is in great part the result of trying to do today's job with yesterday's tools and with yesterday's concepts. The hemp revolution is here, and it's up to all of us to change perception and to impact policy. Will you join us in this movement? Learn more about the education and science behind Canavest at canavest.com.
As a family-owned company since 1968, Now Foods has spent the last 46 years building a legacy in the natural health industry as a trusted leader. Now provides a comprehensive approach to wellness by offering more than 1,400 high-quality health foods, supplements, sports nutrition, and personal care products at an affordable price. Now believes that natural is better. They don't use artificial colors, flavors, or sweeteners, and they offer many vegetarian, organic, and gluten-free products. Their foods are all non-GMO. Since their beginning, Now has grown to become an award-winning leader in the natural health industry. But one thing has never changed: their commitment to providing the highest quality products at the best value to empower people to lead healthier lives. High quality doesn't have to mean high price. From essential oils to amino acids, multivitamins to natural sweeteners, Now has you covered. To find a store near you that carries Now products, or for more information, visit nowfoods.com. That's nowfoods.com.
Feeling tired after your meal? Occasional gas, bloating, or indigestion at inopportune times? You may have an enzyme deficiency. Did you know that many common digestive discomforts can be caused by poor digestion? When food isn't completely digested, it begins to ferment in the digestive tract, which may cause uncomfortable symptoms. Digest Gold, America's #1 selling enzyme product, offers unparalleled support for your digestive needs. It contains exclusive blends of enzymes optimized to be 3 times stronger and work more than 6 times faster than other leading digestive supplements. With just 1 capsule per meal, Digest Gold offers support to break down carbohydrates, fats, fiber, and protein. Enzymedica products are all natural, vegetarian, contain absolutely no fillers, and are vegan and kosher when possible. You'll find Digest Gold and other Enzymedica products at fine health food stores near you. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michael Murray with a minute of important health news. One of my all-time favorite natural products is a special extract of licorice known as DGL. DGL is short for deglycyrrhizated licorice, but I tell my patients that it stands for darn good licorice. DGL is made by removing the compound in licorice that can raise blood pressure in some people. Double-blind clinical studies have shown DGL is quite useful in healing stomach and intestinal ulcers. In fact, in head-to-head studies, it has actually outperformed popular anti-ulcer drugs. But rather than inhibit the release of stomach acid, DGL stimulates the normal defense mechanisms that prevent ulcer formation and promote healing. Clinical studies have not only shown DGL to be extremely effective, but also that it is completely without side effects. Clearly, DGL is a better choice.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Form Essentials, makers of the sleep aid Solace. Now introducing Zinnia for healthy hair, skin, and nails. Garden of Life, empowering extraordinary health. Canavest, from seed to shelf. New Chapter, the benefit of nature's wisdom. Nature's Dynamics, garden to gummy supplements made by Dad. Natural Factors, where great health begins. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Well, apparently, when consumers get confused by messages regarding health and nutrition, what they do, they tend to ignore any recommendations that are given to them, whether the recommendations are good or not. Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. That's according to a study that was published in the journal Health Communication International Perspectives. My goodness. See, that's one of the consequences of all of that information that's out there. And we are in a tsunami of it. And then to sort through it, my guest, Dominique Ostrander, was suggesting that people need to be asking questions and sort through it, so to speak. You know, she was suggesting, at least that's how I interpret her comment. But the problem is people won't necessarily take the time to do that. And moreover, they don't even know what questions to ask. And hopefully they listen to Let's Talk Nutrition, and we try to ameliorate the effects of the conceptual confusion. Welcome back, Dominique. At least I would like to believe that. So in your travels, then, you get a lot of questions because people are conflicted about protein. I want to talk to you about that. Are there any other areas where you get people asking you questions because they're confused?
As far as weight loss products go, I would say that that's a huge area about what to take for weight loss, that there's a concern for which supplements will work, which I've heard that this doesn't work. I don't want this to make me get nervous or all hyper. And then they've heard other things where they've said that, oh, this will be fine, this isn't going to cause any problems, this isn't contraindicated in any particular health conditions, but in fact it is. So it's a lot of it is based on what my friend said.
Which is?
More than science.
Oh, in other words, my friend Martha told me that.
Right, exactly.
Well, this funny you.
Martha said I can't take this.
So it's funny you should say that. I'm sitting in a Starbucks up in Raleigh or Cary, North Carolina, on Saturday, right? Mm-hmm. I swear to God, this is true. I was sitting at a table and I was studying. I have my computer. I have my Bose sound canceling headset on. And these two women were sitting to my right at the end of the table. And I noticed that the one woman who was obese, she was at least 100 pounds overweight, okay? I noticed that she was rather animated in talking with this other woman who seemed to be in relatively good shape to me. So I said, gee, what's she so animated about? So being the curious fellow that I am, I took off my Bose noise-canceling headset, and I set it down, and I eavesdropped. What do you think she was talking about with this lady? If you had to guess, what do you think she was so animated about? If you had to guess. Wait, exactly. Guess what? Mm-hmm. She was giving this woman who was not overweight or obese advice on how to lose weight. And she was proposing and promoting the ketotic diet, a high ketone diet. Swore by it. Said that the diet works, was telling her how to do the diet, what to eat in the morning, lunchtime, in the afternoon. And I'm sitting there, and you don't know, I had to bite my tongue. I had to put my headset back on and get back to my studies because I thought, this lady's going to get mad at me and throw the coffee at me. Mm-hmm. She was saying ridiculous things, and telling this lady, and the other lady was saying, well, I'll get home and I'll go and I'll read what you told me and I'll look this up. And I'm thinking, you don't need to lose any weight. You look okay to me, I'm thinking. Mm-hmm. And this other lady, she was clearly 100 pounds overweight. And so you're right. My friend Martha told me, or my friend Bob told me. Right. Exactly. Craziness. High ketone diet. Good luck. That goes to protein. That's a high protein.
Okay, so
that's a high protein diet. Yeah. Go ahead.
I want you to know that it was probably 5 or 6 years ago. One of my good friends, who was scared to death of needles, decided she was going to go to one of the diet doctors in town, a guru in the world of diet doctors, and it was one of the very first doctors that was using a combination of diet drugs.
Was that the doctor, the one in South Tampa?
No, not South Tampa, but he was in sort of mid-Tampa. But he was one of the first.
All right, go ahead.
And he was promoting, and I sat across his table as an exercise physiologist listening to this. And I was like, I probably was drawing blood as I'm biting my tongue, because he's telling her, and meanwhile, this girl she didn't need to lose any weight. My girlfriend, she just, again, was probably the woman sitting across from the other woman in Starbucks, like that kind of situation. And he was saying 500 calories a day. He was promoting, he's like, I want you to check your urine for ketones because you want to have ketones in your urine. And then you're doing it right.
Right.
If you don't have ketones, then you're not doing this diet correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And I just sat there going, okay, like, how is one person supposed to, first of all, besides the deleterious health effects that a high ketone diet promotes, being hard on your kidneys, et cetera, how can one person sustain that?
You can't. 500 calories, 500 calories a day, anybody can lose weight. Are you kidding me?
Right, and we have caloric restrictors, that practice that on a daily basis, that is their way of life, and those calories are so nutritionally dense, and they're picked so meticulously for those particular calories.
So one of the conflicting messages is high protein diet, not so much protein diet. We'll come back. We'll talk about that, and then calories versus counting versus not counting.
Looking for the perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering. You're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit takesolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by Nubian Heritage, humble beginnings, advancing wellness, never tested on animals. Yerba Prima, pioneers in internal cleansing. Country Life, a leader and authority in natural health and nutrition. Now Foods, our products work. Nordic Naturals, pure and great tasting omega oils. Kyolic, aging makes the finest garlic truly odorless. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening to the show or watching the show and whatever you may be doing. 877-897-8255. I would be interested in hearing from you in terms of, have you had the experience of confusing messages about one thing or another relative to health? You know, whether it's diet, supplements, one therapy versus another therapy, and that it was confusing to you and you really were conflicted and didn't know what to do. I would be interested in hearing from you if you had that kind of experience. Lord knows I hear them all the time and I get confused. And I was telling the story about being up, on Saturday. I was in Cary, North Carolina, visiting my daughter and my grandson. And I was sitting in a Starbucks up there on the main highway, one of the main highways in Cary. It's a nice Starbucks, and there's one lady, clearly 100 pounds overweight, telling this other lady to go on a ketone diet. And my one producer, Josh, said, "Yeah, Doc," he said, "that's on break." He said, "That's me like telling you to go to church." Because he's such a pagan. That's Dominique. Dominique, welcome back to the show. Yeah. He said, "Yeah, it'd be like me telling you to go to church, the sinner that he is," right? Yeah. So, protein. That's what that ketone diet is. It's a high-protein diet, right?
Right, exactly. So that your body goes into ketosis.
Mm-hmm. And that's one of the confusions that you run into out in the field with people. What do you make of count the calories, be cognizant of the calories versus don't worry about the calories, they don't make any difference?
Okay, so this goes back to what I was saying in the first hour about this is only as important as, the question is only as important or relevant as who you ask. And so with my background and being an exercise physiologist, I do believe in the calories, because 3,500 calories equals 1 pound lost or gained, whatever the calories come from. So it doesn't matter whether they're Snicker bar calories, whether they're protein shake calories, pasta calories. It's 3,500 calories, 1 pound lost or gained. So in my perspective, it becomes, well, if you want to lose the weight, there is going to have to be an awareness of the caloric intake. Most oftentimes, calories that are coming from higher fat calories are more satisfying, and you're less likely to overeat calories. So again, it just depends on, that's where I was talking about the series of questions that are necessary preemptively to what a person's goals are. What is their lifestyle like? Are they exercising all the time? Are they marathon runners? Are they sedentary in their jobs? There's all kinds of things that are part of that analysis.
Well, the argument for don't count the calories because they're not, focus on the kinds of foods that you're eating. That's part of that argument. Not counting the calories, the argument is that, first of all, they'll say that people don't know how many calories they're consuming anyway. They can't guess right. Why, admittedly, it is hard to figure out. I mean, it does take a little time to figure out how many calories that you're approximately consuming. I have a pretty good idea from my own diet. I can guesstimate that pretty good. And they'll say that it distracts people from the real thing that they should focus on, which is the kind of food and how much food, and not to worry about the calories. That's part of their argument. I come down on the side of calories count, and you need to be cognizant of them. And telling people not to pay attention to calories is like telling a deep sea diver, don't pay attention to your air in your tank. I mean,
I think a matter of it is a choice too. So understanding that, I would sit with patients for years and just sit and say, okay, so you can have a turkey sandwich for this many calories, or you can have a bowl of chips for this many calories. You can have a salad with grilled salmon and, this much dressing for as much, and a side of this and a side of that for as many calories as you would have in like 17 French fries, or so that you understand the amount of food that you can consume that's healthful, that has a nutritional density, that has some vitamin content within itself in the food, as opposed to a poor food choice. So that you're consciously aware of calories, but it's also, what am I getting for those calories? That's the whole concept behind Weight Watchers and our point system. It's like, sorry, you run out of points, you're pretty much done eating for the day. If you blow it all on breakfast, sorry, because there's really only so many calories to go around when you're trying to lose weight. That's the bottom line.
You can gain weight on healthy food, man.
Absolutely, because you're eating in excess of what your body needs.
I do think and the reason why the one school of thought says don't count the calories, don't worry about the calories, I think part of it is because it's hard to do that. And, I mean, you got to you have to work at that. And they're saying...
But we all have smartphones now.
Yeah,
really,
well...
you can just put in your Google app.
Yeah, you can get an app. The Apple...
Get the calorie content now.
Yeah, the app will count the calories for you.
Yeah.
And I think it's better for people to engage in conscious eating and to engage in conscious calorie management. That's where I come down on it. Now, I have some of my colleagues, nutritionists, who disagree with me about this. And they think that, take the focus off the calories. I'm saying no. You got to put...
Why? Why would you do that?
Because they think it's too hard for people to do that. And that it sends the wrong message.
Well, and what message is that?
That it's all about the calories. And I said, that's right. It's all about the calories. Yeah, but it's all about the calories. And they're saying, no, it's about the nutrition. I'm saying, no, it's about nutritious calories, man.
Right, exactly. You have to put those two terms together.
Exactly. And so that's where I come down on this. Yes, you need to count the calories. Mm-hmm. And, okay, what about this contradiction? And what about this contradiction? Eat throughout the day versus intermittent fasting approach. Come back, we'll talk about that. There's a supplement from Jarrow Formulas. It's called Glucose Optimizer. That product is, if you don't need to have type 2 diabetes, you don't need to have any issues. It's a wonderful product to manage blood glucose levels. And I keep saying on this show, if you want to have good health, you need to manage glucose and insulin levels. Even if you eat a healthy diet, those can get out of range. That blood glucose optimizer, I recommend it for people who don't even have glucose issues necessarily, because it helps. It's a management supplement for that. Come back. I want to get Dominique Clark's, Ostrander's opinion on that. And I'll have the LTN health question of the day.
Still looking for your fountain of youth? It's Xenia. Look no further than the beauty aisle of your favorite health and nutrition store. Xenia is the newest product from Form Essentials, the brand that brought you solace. So you know it's filled with the highest quality ingredients. Many cosmetic products only treat topically, while Xenia addresses aging and hair loss from within. Formulated to support the growth of radiant hair, skin, and nails, Xenia is sure to help you turn back the hands of time and assist you in aging gracefully. Xenia provides a spectrum of key vitamins and other evidence-based natural ingredients such as alpha-lipoic acid, biotin, collagen, and elastin peptides, all combined in one capsule for your convenience. By promoting beauty from the inside out, you are strengthening your cells and creating a lasting enhancement to your natural beauty. Xenia fits into your daily routine and can be taken to boost your current cosmetic products. Available now at leading health and nutrition stores. Ask for Xenia by name. Start taking Xenia hair, skin, and nails today and get ready to look amazing.
Hi, I'm Kate. I try to eat a healthy diet, but the irony of eating healthy foods, like broccoli or beans, is that even though they're healthy for us, they can still cause occasional digestive upsets. That's why I take a Digest Smart high-potency enzyme with every meal. Digest Smart is from Renew Life, the digestive care experts. It's the first digestive enzyme certified by Izyme, the International Enzyme Testing Program. Each capsule provides a full spectrum of 25 powerful plant-based raw enzymes to break down each major food group, including carbs, fats, proteins, and fiber. Digest Smart enzymes also feature targeted delivery capsules to reach your intestines, where 90% of digestion occurs. Digest Smart promotes more complete breakdown of the foods you eat and optimizes nutrient availability. Plus, it helps ease digestive upsets and supports your overall digestive health. Now that's really smart. Digest Smart is from the makers of Ultimate Flora Probiotics, and both are available in health food stores everywhere.
Is your fish oil wildly pure? New Chapter is proud to offer a whole food approach to fish oil, Whole Mega. Naturally pure 100% wild-caught salmon comes from the pristine waters of Alaska. Like extra virgin olive oil, the fresh-caught salmon for Whole Mega is pressed immediately after harvest. And that's all that's needed to deliver wild Alaskan salmon's whole complement of vital omega fatty acids. These omegas support your heart health. One serving of Whole Mega per day, 2 grams, has been clinically shown to help retain healthy triglyceride levels and to improve the omega-3 index, a studied marker of heart health. And did you know experts recommend consuming 2 to 3 servings of fish per week? So 1 week of Whole Mega delivers the omegas of 3 servings of wild Alaskan salmon. Discover the New Chapter difference, wildly pure Whole Mega. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Available at your local Fine Health food store.
The ever-increasing stress and toxicity we are exposed to from our environment, diets, and lifestyles make internal cleansing a necessary part of a good health regimen. Founded in 1980, Yerba Prima was the first company to launch a whole-body internal cleansing kit. Since that time, they have continued to develop and manufacture a complete range of all-natural, high-quality fiber and internal cleansing products. By using all-natural psyllium fiber and no harmful stimulant laxatives, all Yerba Prima fiber and internal cleansing products can be used over a long period of time to ensure optimal health and regularity. With nearly 30 years dedicated to all-natural cleansing products, it's easy to see why Yerba Prima is a leader in the fiber and cleansing products category. Learn more at yerbaprima.com, YERBAPRIMA.com, or visit your local health retailer. Yerba Prima, pioneer in internal cleansing products.
When you're passionate about your health, that passion leads to the knowledge that exercise and a healthy diet are not always enough. Sometimes you need the extra nutritional boost that only supplements can provide. If you are looking for the leading national brands of vitamins, supplements, health and beauty, weight loss, or sports nutrition products, look no further than Vitamin Discount Center. Voted best independent chain by Vitamin Retailer Magazine, Vitamin Discount Center has been a trusted and valuable nutrition resource to the Tampa Bay area for over 15 years. With daily savings up to 50%, Vitamin Discount Center offers the best prices on the highest quality nutritional supplements. Not only will you find unbeatable value, your visit includes access to a staff educated on the application of products to help equip you with the products and information you need to proactively improve your health. To locate the store nearest you, visit vitamindiscountcenter.com, as well as access to articles on popular health topics, promotions, events, and thousands of products to shop from right at home. Your search for an affordable solution to better health is finally over. Vitamin Discount Center. For life, for less.
Let's Talk Nutrition is brought to you by A. Vogel, Europe's leading brand of herbal medicine. Nutrix Hawaii, more nutrition, better health, purely Hawaiian. Renew Life, the digestive care company. Enzymedica, the enzyme experts. North American Urban Spice, the only oregano oil you can take on a daily basis. Jarrow Formulas, superior nutrition and formulation. Let's Talk Nutrition on the web at letstalknutrition.com. We're back from the break, so let's rejoin Dr. Michael Garko.
Here's the LTN health question of the day. There was a survey done and was published in the Journal of Health Communication. And they surveyed consumers about conflicting messages regarding health and nutrition. Here's the question. What % of the people surveyed said that they heard moderate or high levels of contradictory information about nutrition. What percent of the people surveyed said that they had come across or encountered conflicting messaging regarding nutrition? 41%, 51%, or 71%? What percent of people surveyed said that they had run across these conflicting messages, contradictory information about nutrition? That was either moderate or high levels of confusion for them. 41, 51, or 71%. 877-897-8255. That's a toll-free number. Right answer, $25 supplement gift card. No confusion there. Welcome back, Dominique. So you and I agree counting calories, probably managing calories is a good thing. When we were headed into that last set of messages, I referenced Jarrow Formula's product, a glucose optimizer. And the more literature I read, I'm more and more persuading myself that managing blood glucose and insulin levels is a key to aging successfully and keeping the weight off, by the way, as a weight loss strategy. Your response to that?
I agree wholeheartedly.
What about the product? What about that product?
Well, our glucose optimizer, we've talked about it on the air many times. It supports glucose metabolism and antioxidant status, and it's basically a blend of vitamins, minerals, botanicals that are scientifically documented to stimulate a healthy sugar metabolism and a very healthy glycemic balance.
And boy, it doesn't take much to get the glucose. And as people age, the ability of the body to maintain proper glucose and insulin levels starts to wane as people move deeper into the life cycle, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
And you don't need to be overweight or obese, by the way, either, to suffer from that.
No, not at all. A lot of it has to do with just how active a person is. So as we age, a lot of it has to do with we're becoming less active and more sedentary, and so it makes us less able, less efficient to metabolize added sugars.
And I've read arguments, too, where they say that if you can keep the glucose and insulin levels in line, that it quells the appetite, these cravings, food cravings as well.
Absolutely. That was when chromium picolinate was the supplement of choice back in, I would say, the 90s.
It's still around.
It's still around. It's still an excellent supplement as far as helping with that, with cravings and stuff. In fact, our glucose optimizer has 200 micrograms of chromium. So, but again, that's a long-standing supplement. There are supplements that are out there that have been around for a long time that we call old school, still work great, and there are newer products too.
But glucose go ahead.
Well, I was going to say that are more that are going along the lines of caloric restriction, which is now very popular. That are what we call caloric mimetics.
Like what?
That work like carostilbene. We just launched a new product, and I'm sure we'll talk about this in the future, called nicotinamide riboside.
I can't even say it.
Right. Which again,
what's the name of the product? Nikki?
Right, exactly. It's actually called Niagen.
Okay.
And
good thing.
It plays a very important part in what we call we've talked about this on the air, the activation of sirtuin 1 and 2, and those are the pathways that help with weight loss and glucose control and cognitive thinking.
What's it called? Niagen?
Niagen,
And what's the long title?
Nicotinamide riboside.
That's a new product in your line.
Brand new.
We'll talk about that when we do some.
Yes, we are. We're going to talk about that.
Let's go to. She's gone.
Uh-oh.
She was what? Oh, okay. The health question of the day: what percent of people in this survey found that the messaging on nutrition was confusing, either moderately so or on a high level. I'll give you two choices. Was it 41% or 71%? 877-897-8255. Let me put it this way. There's a lot of confusion out there when it comes to health messages of one sort or another. What percent of messaging was confusing for consumers in this study regarding, health information, nutrition information? 877-897-8255. Was that 41% or 71%? Eat all day, intermittently eat throughout the day, or engage in intermittent fasting. Which one of those two do you subscribe to?
I don't believe in the eating all day. I think that whole 6 meals a day thing, I don't think you should allow yourself to get hungry. I don't think you should do that. And caloric restriction is a wonderful thing. It has a great place. I think that it can absolutely help people. I always say the sooner you can stop eating at night, the better you're going to feel the next morning. If you can have your cutoff time at 6 o'clock, I'm done eating for the whole night until the next morning, it's great. That is considered intermittent fasting.
Yeah, I should do a show on intermittent fasting and have you come on and talk about what intermittent fasting is. An interesting approach. It's not necessarily a strategy or an approach that would be for everybody, but it does have some merit. I don't eat
tremendous merit for anti-aging.
I think so. My daughter makes fun of me, Dad. She said, "Do you ever eat, Dad?" She said, "Do you ever eat?" I said, "Yes, I eat." You've been here for 2 days. I haven't. The only time we eat is when we go to dinner. I said, "Well, I don't eat a lot during the day. I mean, I'm just saying." She becomes concerned. Let's go to Tuscaloosa. Andrew, welcome to the show.
I'm glad to be on the show.
I'm glad to have you on, man. Listen, how many people said, was it 41 or 71%?
71%.
Congratulations. You won $25 gift card. Dominique, thank you.
Are you